Myles Garrett was asked about the plan to keep him away from getting a sack.
For sure, but I mean, they kind of fell under the same line of thinking that the Packers did. You know, we'll just throw everything at them and see if we can muster effort to win without it.
Still as confident as ever that you get the record next week?
Absolutely. Why shouldn't I be?
What game fewer?
4 more quarters, 60 more minutes, however you want to draw it up, it'll get done.
Aaron Rodgers tried to do everything he could to get away from Myles Garrett, but your defense kept him out of the end zone. What can you say about their standout performance today at home?
The defense great. I know a couple of weeks they had something to prove, but I feel like they stamped it. They stamped it. They got back to who they were.
Congratulations, you just beat Aaron Rodgers.
My team, we all beat them.
Aaron, when you let go of an opportunity like that to clinch, how difficult is it to bounce back? You know you got one more shot.
I mean, it's not difficult. That's our job, you know, playing all 17.
And what gives you that confidence you guys are being able to right the ship next week?
Because we've done it all season. We've handled adversity well, and we had to play our best ball. Yeah, we did, other than today.
If you really love the sport and you really love the game, you have to be a competitor. You know, it could have been an easy way out today and get the win, and next week probably chilling or something. But now you got to come play football now. You know, season on the line. I'm a competitor, so I love it.
So it looks like Myles Garrett will have to wait till the regular season finale there to try to get that sack record. But again, for the Steelers, you win the North. Is there anything troubling about this performance?
Well, I said this earlier today, no DK Metcalf. So where are the explosive plays offensively? When he's out of the lineup, you know, all of a sudden the defense plays a little bit different. When he's in the lineup, you got to shift coverage toward him. But it was a game that when you think about the Cleveland Browns, they're a top 5 defense. People lose sight of that. And they got into a game where they played down to the competition, and the more the game lingered on, the more confidence Cleveland became, you know, with the Pittsburgh Steelers. So the Pittsburgh Steelers find themselves in a situation now that all of a sudden the last game is going to mean a whole lot to the Pittsburgh Steelers, right?
Yeah,
and the Ravens.
Yes.
But you got to give Cleveland a lot of credit. Shedeur Sanders, you know, was he great? Played good enough.
Yeah.
And they just played good enough where you let them hang around. And you hate that as a coach. You're sitting there going, guys, let's go, let's go. All of a sudden it's the fourth quarter and this game is tight. Cleveland is gaining confidence as this thing goes on.
Shedeur Sanders is certainly a candidate at minimum for the play to win the game. But to your point earlier, this is now the 4th straight road loss for the Steelers in Cleveland. That's their longest such streak since 1993. I've always wanted to know, Coach, when there's a record like this lingering, okay, Myles Garrett he's never sacked Aaron Rodgers.
No.
He's sacked over 50 quarterbacks and Jamar Chase, but he's never sacked Aaron Rodgers. I'm just curious, when you're a coach of the opposing team and you have a record like that lingering, and I'm sure that professional athletes and coaches don't want the record to be broken against their team, but how much does that really factor into your preparations?
It doesn't factor so much to you as a coach, but to the players it does. So if you're an offensive lineman for the Pittsburgh Steelers, you're saying we cannot let him break the record on us. They're a prideful group. You know, you're dealing with one of the best players in football, Myles Garrett. That offensive line said, hey, we ain't gonna let this guy break the record on us. Maybe next week, but not this week, right? And Aaron Rodgers understood it too. They did some things in the passing game, got rid of the ball quickly when they knew that he was gonna, on the end where they try to block him with one guy. This is a bad loss for Pittsburgh. It really is. I mean, look, they're still gonna go to the playoffs, still have a chance to win the division, but this is a bad loss. And I can just think of Mike Tomlin telling these guys, we're playing Cleveland. Come on, we got to get going, you know. And Pittsburgh was on this little winning streak, and all of a sudden now they lose to Cleveland.
So a bad loss for the Steelers, a great win for the Ravens. Now, last night on SportsCenter, we had Derrick Henry on after his monster game. He had one of his typical King Henry terrific games. And this is what he said about how he would watch this Steelers game today. Have a listen.
Pray before we leave that, you know, the good Lord just give us a chance. Wake up tomorrow in the morning, pray again before the game comes on. The good Lord give us a chance, and then let it all unfold, man. You know, it's out of our control.
The final playoff spot in the AFC will be decided next week with the winner of the Ravens and Steelers taking the division crown. ESPN Analytics favors the Ravens in the game, despite being on the road. In the event of a tie, Pittsburgh would win.
This is going to be an interesting game, only for the simple fact that you're hoping Lamar Jackson to be back, right?
Yes.
Didn't play again today because of the back contusion. Size up this matchup for me. These are two rivals, two teams who really don't like each other. It seems like Baltimore remembered they've got Derrick Henry and run Derrick Henry. How do you see this game, especially with so much on the line for next week?
Their strength right now is Derrick Henry. If you're the Baltimore Ravens, you can control the game with Derrick Henry. You can keep Aaron Rodgers and that offense on the sideline, and that's what you want to do, right, with Henry. The way he played last week, he's telling you right now, just give me the ball. I need to touch it 30 times. And I think that's going to be the mindset of the Ravens when they play the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, if you're the Pittsburgh Steelers, this is why you went out and got Aaron Rodgers for games like this. Aaron Rodgers understands how important this game is. The problem is, the big play guy, DK Metcalf, he's not playing. He's in the stands watching the game. That incident that happened,
yes, huge.
If they lose 2 in a row, just think about what they're going to say. You lose a guy, he gets into it with a fan, and that hurt us now. So this is a big game for both parties, and it's going to be fun to watch this game. This is going to be a tackle football game that you don't even want to leave for the commercials. You're going to sit there and watch.
No, glued to our chairs,
big time football
glued
game.
to the screens.
Yes.
This is what we live for,
that's
right? Winning you're in situations. Cannot wait for week 18. Jacksonville would kick a field goal and win 23-17. Here's Lawrence after the game.
Obviously, it's a long season to play, and you never know exactly how it's going to play out, but we have all the confidence in the world in our locker room that it should be us. So we got to go and finish the job next week. We need our fans to come out and support and make it a great atmosphere, tough atmosphere to play in for Tennessee. And yeah, obviously, it's a huge game, division game against the Titans to win the AFC South. I mean, it's huge. So we know what we got to do, and we got to have a great week of prep and put a good plan together. I'll just say we have all the confidence in ourselves that when we play well and we execute, we can beat anybody. So, and that's all you can ask for. Who cares? Who thinks who's the best team? This, that. We'll get to prove it. Come next week, first of all, and then in the playoffs. We'll all get our shot at one another, and you keep winning, you keep playing. So, don't really have an answer for that, but I know we have a lot of confidence in our locker room.
Well, Liam Cohen has fully turned around this Jaguars team that won just 4 games last season. 12 wins are tied for the second most in franchise history as the Jags are in the driver's seat in the AFC South heading into Week 18. All right, Coach, the Jags currently have a 7.5% chance for the #1 seed. Trevor Lawrence keeps helping the Jags get in the win column. He was terrific against the Blitz in this game, in the victory, 7 in a row for them. How did they get it done this time around?
Well, we always say coaching matters. With the coaching change, this is his 3rd head coach, I do believe. And all of a sudden, this has been a great relationship between quarterback and head coach. He's always had talent. But the last couple seasons, you look at this team and go, what's wrong with these guys, right? And all of a sudden, they've won, 13 games all of a sudden. And they're a team now that's ascending. And every time they win a game, they became more confident. They're going to be a hard out in the playoffs. This quarterback can throw it anywhere on the field. They have a good running attack. The defense is playing complementary football with their offense. When you have confidence going into the playoffs, that's hard to beat. And this team hadn't seen the playoffs in a while, so they're hungry to get into the playoffs.
You look at the division and you look at Jacksonville, Trevor Lawrence. There's some weeks he looks fantastic. Then there's some weeks where, like even today, was somewhat of a struggle. Are you beginning to build trust into Trevor Lawrence?
Yeah, and what helps him is this. When you have a defense that can go out and get some stops for you, you don't feel like I got to score 30 points every week, right? And that's going to happen. That's why right now, this time in the season, 2 things travel well and help you get in the playoffs. A run game and good defense. The weather changes. Most teams play outdoors. That travels. You can run the ball, play good defense, you got a shot.
Huge. And this that win is huge, only for the simple fact, hey, if you are the Buffalo Bills, you're still in contention for the division title, still in contention to get a higher seed, but now New England's the division title winner. Hey, and if you're the Eagles, now you're looking at that #2 seed in there. Talk to me about the the loss here for the Bills, because we even saw this, Josh Allen hurt the foot again earlier in that third quarter.
Yes, and this is a tough loss in the sense they played at home, and really played the Eagles close enough to where they had a chance to win. Eagles, on the flip side of it, started out fast, second half, not so much. So the offense bogged down for Philadelphia, but they still found a way to win. Josh Allen is a one-man band, to be quite honest. They got a good running attack, but nobody scares you on offense. Shakur's the receiver. They got the runner in Cooks, but really when they break the huddle, you're not in fear. You're in fear of one guy, Josh Allen. Josh Allen can beat us.
It's almost as if they missed on Keon Coleman because you thought he was going to be your alpha guy, and he's not the guy. You said going into this game, you're looking at in the postseason, you're saying no Patrick Mahomes.
Nope.
Maybe no Lamar Jackson.
Correct.
Maybe
is there
obviously
a path?
no Joe Burrow. All these guys that have knocked you out in the past, if you're Josh Allen, this should be the year for you. But the defense doesn't look right. The offense is.
They have to surround him with more talent. I mean, big time talent. All these guys are talented in the NFL.
Right.
But some star players on offense. They need a big time receiver on offense to help them out.
You have said on this show a lot that Josh Allen has to put the cape on.
Yes, Superman.
Ironically, they were literally wearing red today while playing the game. Now, I want to ask an Eagles question. So they are 2-0 this season when scoring 13 or fewer points. It was a tightly contested game. What was your big takeaway from the Eagles in this one?
That the Eagles defense slowed down Josh Allen. They knew the only way they're going to lose this game, you cannot let Josh Allen beat us on the unannounced play. They rushed him good. They kept him in the pocket for the most part. Didn't let him go out and extend plays with his leg, because this is what Josh Allen does. This is how he beats you in the open field when he takes off and runs. You don't draw that up. There's no defensive play to stop that. You're going, okay, if he just runs, we got to try to tackle a guy. So they did a good job. It was a tight game. Philadelphia goes on the road, beats the Buffalo Bills. This is a good win for Philly.
Yeah. The win is their 11th for the Eagles. 4th straight season that they've reached that milestone, joining their opponent, the Bills, as the only teams in the NFL with 11 wins in each of the last 4 seasons. Main concern when you look at the Eagles going forward, especially with the postseason round.
If they don't get a pass rush, they're vulnerable at times in the back end of their defense, secondary-wise. Right?
Yeah.
If they don't play balanced football on offense, Barkley, A.J. Brown, those are the type of things that get Philly. This when you watch your offense, it's like the potholes in Philadelphia. It's kind of clunky at times. They go for a while, go, they're going good, and then all of a sudden the quarter they disappear. They go 3 and out and they punt. You say, what's wrong with this offense? It's clunky. It's never in flow. It got clunky today. They get an early lead and then that's it.
Patriots win.
Your first snaps here last year.
Yeah.
Can you just reflect on the player you are now, the franchise, the team this is now, even when you think back to that night?
Yeah, I was thinking that in the fourth quarter. I remember my first action last year. It's pretty funny looking back. The stadium was pumped for that Thursday night game, and it's kind of a full circle moment, just of how far we've come and kind of the flip side of things. This year compared to last, and how much fun we're having out there, and even had some fun last year when I was got my first action. It was still pretty fun.
Do you feel like you were watching the MVP of the league today?
Oh well, certainly. They don't give me a vote, but I would. There's nobody else that we want as our quarterback or that I want as our quarterback. And so to be able to do that, and as the plays go through the progression, somebody asked me this week about progression and different things. I said just throw to the guy that's open as soon as you work through your progression, and I think he did that. And some really good designs, but also some great execution.
It's easy to forget these Patriots won just 4 games in each of the last 2 seasons. The 9-win increase from last season to this season is the largest in Patriots history, breaking a tie with the 1976 campaign where they went from 3-11 to 11-3. That was a great question there. Did you feel like you watched the MVP play today? I just want to read one stat here, Coach. First player in NFL history, Drake May, with multiple games, with 90% completion rate and multiple pass touchdowns in one season. They now have a clear path to the division. Based on this performance, how likely do you think that is?
Well, he's going to get a lot of votes. I don't know if it's a slam dunk yet.
For the MVP, you're saying,
yeah. Matthew Stafford is playing pretty good as well. I mean, there's some guys, but this New England team is back to the Patriot way. And they went out and got Coach Vrabel and obviously he understands it. He was a part of it. This team, they're not flashy, but all of a sudden they've won a bunch of football games. Right,
Brian, we need less people in the NFL script writing room from Boston is what needs to
You're right about that. He made a great point. 4-13 under Rob Mayo last year. 4-13 the year before under Bill Belichick. Yes. You got Mike Vrabel in this year, and you say this all the time. Coaching matters. Give me the biggest thing that you've seen that Mike Vrabel's done that maybe you didn't see out of New England the past couple of seasons.
Well, I think there's a sense of toughness. Now, he has a young quarterback that actually went through that freshman year before he arrived. So he got beat up. He got into next year. So the quarterback had already gone through a season of getting beat up. So that helps too. He's not a rookie quarterback anymore, right? But I just think the way they put this whole thing together, they're not flashy. They play complementary football. They're going to play good offense. They're going to play good defense. Special teams has always been a part of it, right? Yeah. So they're a team that the more they won games, the more confident they became. Look at the division they're in. Who's going to challenge them? Jets? No. Miami Dolphins? No. I mean, Buffalo Bills? Yes. That's the team that can challenge them. But they beat Buffalo. So Buffalo's looking up at New England right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Docs currently have a 56% chance for that #1 seed in the NFC. Coach, is this the best team in the NFC? And if so, why?
I don't know that. I'm not ready to say that. I
based
think
off of the quarterback?
Just based off the division they're in.
Okay.
San Francisco plays tonight. They play the Bears.
Yeah.
If they win, okay, then check the box.
Yeah.
San Francisco. We talk about the Rams. Rams are pretty good too.
Yeah, they played them all night.
So this is a division where maybe I don't know who the best team is right now. I know who the best quarterback is, right? If you had to pick quarterbacks, you taking Sam Darnold or you taking Matthew Stafford?
I'm taking Matthew Stafford.
I'm pretty sure,
Okay.
yeah.
Are you taking Sam Darnold or are you taking Brock Purdy?
I'm taking Brock Purdy the way he's
See,
playing right now.
I'm just saying, right? So it's just interesting.
Yes.
It's when you boil it all down. So we will see. They're a playoff team. There's no doubt about it. San Francisco plays the Bears. If they beat the Bears, then they play, the last game of the season against Seattle. That's a big game all of a sudden.
20-17.
Wow. How about that?
I think we got to erase that from our heads because we have to get ourselves together before we worry about anybody else, Carolina or anybody else. We just shooting ourselves in the foot at every chance. That starts with me. I got to coach them better. They got to play it better, and then we got to figure out how we can stop making our mistakes to move on. So if we play and do the things we did today, next week, we won't be going anywhere.
This is our last chance, and it's blatantly obvious. There's no more regular season games on the schedule. We have this one back at home, and it comes down to execution. X's and O's. It felt like we had a good plan going into it, and players have to deliver.
We just need to put it together and play, and that takes work, and we work hard. We do it right in practice. Can't explain it in the game, but we definitely, as coaches and as players, got to look ourselves in the mirror, and we just need to work on the Bucs. Whatever Carolina does, they do. We got to work on the Bucs and stay working on the Bucs, and we got to figure that part out.
Baker Mayfield said it there. This is our last chance. Yeah, but you didn't need this many chances in the first place. It's another week, another Tampa Bay loss. The Bucs are 1-7 since their bye week, heading into a pivotal Week 18 matchup against the Panthers with zero momentum. Even the one win was only by 3 points, and it was at home against the Cardinals. All right, so Bucs have lost 4 in a row, 7 of their last 8. Most in an 8-game span since 2018. Simple question, Coach. Why have they been this bad?
It seems like they wait around for Baker Mayfield to bail them out. And he did a lot of that last year.
It did a lot of that at the beginning of the season.
Yes.
Remember that? They won all those games at the
bailing
end.
them out. And now, Baker Mayfield, he's a good quarterback, but it's not the same guy he was last year. Threw over 40 touchdown passes last year. He was unbelievable. And always in the last drive, he'd have the ball, he'd find a way to win. All of a sudden, this team, I don't know if they got comfortable or just said, this is our division to lose. We're going to win this division again. Not so fast. And now they've lost one-score games. Football's a funny deal. It really is. You win a lot of games by one score, you don't think about it. You know what, we won. But now all of a sudden you're losing games by one score. And you gotta look at yourself. Why are we keep losing these games? They're trying to figure it out, but they're in a free fall right now.
On a free fall, first quarter of the season, everyone was saying Baker Mayfield MVP.
Yes.
And these guys were winning every game close, especially in the last 2 minutes of the fourth quarter. So this sets up a Panthers versus Bucs Week 18, potentially for the division, for the playoffs. In your opinion, who do you think going to win that game?
I don't know. I really don't. I have no idea. I'm going to sit here and watch it for sure, but I don't know. If you're Todd Bowles, because he's a defensive-minded head coach, he's a little bit disappointed in his defense. Because most guys on that side of the ball, wherever you coach, you put more stress on those guys than on the other side. And Todd Bowles is looking at this football team right now going, hey, guys, we got to win a game again. If we got to win it, we got to know what it feels to win a game. We can't keep losing these games.
That have been scarce for the Giants this season, but a win this big has evaded New York for even longer. The 24-point win is the largest by the Giants over the last 3 seasons and the largest on the road since 2018.
So that looks as if now the Raiders would get the #1 pick. If you're Pete Carroll and you're the Raiders, what are you looking at number 1?
You're going to get a quarterback. Right? And look, and both these teams were sitting in the same situation. And a lot of people, speculate, well, are they worried about, the draft choice?
Yeah.
Players don't care.
Yeah.
Coaches don't care. You're trying to win a game. You're not going to throw the game and go, hey, man, we want the first pick. No, you want to win a game. You know how long that season is and what it feels like to win a game? There's nothing like winning a football game when you come in that locker room and see the coaches and the players. When you lose and you keep losing, it's horrible. And so I don't want anyone to think that, hey, the team's trying to throw it because they want the first pick. Whoever gets the first pick is going to get the first pick. We know this. The Raiders need a quarterback. They're probably going to pick a quarterback.
There's some pretty good quarterbacks in college right now.
They're going to pick a quarterback.
Do you think it's Mendoza? They go after kid from Indiana?
I think he might be the best one on the board. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We're also